um, fall asleep. Okay, so here we're asked to graph. So this equation. Well, remember, as long as the powers of x and y are 1, and they are, and we do not have product, this is not linear. Okay, so a product of x and y is not a linear function. But here we don't have a product of x and y. So, and we cannot have, let's say, y divided by x, because x has power -1. So let me refresh your memory on this. That's important. So if a quantity is in the denominator, it's basically it has a negative power, -1. If it has 2 here, then it would have -2 here. Okay, so this is not linear and this is not linear, but this is linear. When we say linear, we mean several possibilities. So this is one, which is horizontal line. We mean this one, which is vertical, but it's not a function. This is not a function. This one is a function. And the other two options are increasing, we say, from left to right, where the slope is positive. It's increasing from left to right. Well, what about here? Can anyone give us an idea? You will always have the option to answer without me calling on you.
Decreasing from
yes.
left to right?
Yes, so it's decreasing. What about the slope? What do you think?
It's going to be negative?
Yes, it will be decreasing, so the slope will be negative. Awesome. So we know it's linear because x and y have power 1. So we know it's not going to be this because a horizontal line has only y. Y equals 4, for example, or y equals -3, or y equals 15. A vertical line has only x. So x equals 0 or x equals -3. So this is position, position. This is altitude, altitude, position. When we talk about vertical line, we're talking about the position. When we talk about horizontal line, we are talking about altitude. Good. So we know it's not this because it has x and y. We know it's not this for the same reason. So it must be either this situation or this situation. Next, I would like to us to review what it's called x and y intercepts. So we know that this is the x-axis. We know that this is the y-axis. Can anyone, and yes, I heard Stanley, and there was somebody else who said something. I want to write.
Me.
Yulia, thank you. I appreciate it. Very good. Good. So can anyone give us the equation of this line?
Is it x equals 0? Or y equals 0?
Excellent. So please remember, it's a altitude. Can anyone give us the equation of this line?
X equals 0.
Perfect. So I heard Samuel, and who else?
Ben.
It was Ben, yes. Ben, I should have recognized your voice already. Good. So when I ask, let's say, to find the x and y intercepts, then I will, for this point, what will I make? To find this point, where the line crosses the x-axis, what will I make? What will I set?
Y0.
Yes. In order to determine this point, what will I set?
X equal to 0.
Correct. Thank you, Sloan. Perfect. Okay then. So we have 6x plus 3y equals -9. I know you will say, I'm not used to do this. I'm asked to solve it for y, find the slope. No, there is no need, because this is going to be the only function that works with this. So move away from it. We always need the x and y intercepts. That's not a good idea. It's interesting, it's good and fast if you want, if I have a graph. If I have a graph, I go rise and run. Yeah, but if I don't have the graph, there is no point in solving this for y. There is no point. It's more difficult. Okay, then. So I want to find the y-intercept. So x equals 0. It cannot be easier. I cover it. 3y equals -9. Can anyone give us y?
-3.
Yes. Can anyone give us the point? Right here, right now, I have to write the point.
0 and -3.
0, -3. So I found the y-intercept. Now I want to find the x-intercept. I make it y equals 0. Can anyone give us x?
Then minus -9 divided by 6.
Exactly. So x equals -9 divided by 6. I will simplify by 3, and I get -3/2. Now I'm going to plot these points. And right here, right now, we need the point.
-3 divided by 2 and then 0.
Good. Now, if anyone has any questions, always stop me. I will always stop every now and then and say questions. But you don't have to wait for that. You can say, wait. What is going on? I didn't get that. Any questions? Okay, then. So I'm changing colors all the time, so I can, not to, because they're not kids, but they are drying out if I don't change them. So I also like more colors too. 0 for x, -3 for y. -3/2, which is -1.5 for x, 0 for y. And now I connect and extend the line. I always write next to it, left, right, up, down, it doesn't matter where. I write 6x plus 3y equals -9, so I know what I graphed. And as expected, this is a line with a negative slope. Any questions? Okay, so I would, every now and then I look at the time on my other computer that records this, because I need to stop the video and start a new one every 20 minutes or so, because otherwise it takes a long time to upload. Okay, so allow me to this time to just make up a quadratic equation. So let's say y equals x squared minus 4. So we do remember, so this is quadratic. And the quadratic equation, the simplest quadratic function is this one. And please try to remember the graph. It's the easiest quadratic equation or quadratic function. It goes through 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, as you know, and so on and so forth. So here's the graph. So this is the graph of the simplest quadratic function ever. Now, I don't know if you remembered so-called transformations. So this is x squared, but now I want minus 4. Well, what will that do? Can anyone give us an idea? Anyone who I haven't heard from? Anyone? Elizabeth? Yes, Ezra? I thought you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I did.
It's okay if you're wrong.
Will it go down?
Yes, it will go down. How many units?
4 units.
Excellent. It will go down 4. And of course, I know, let's do that also. In order to find the x-intercept, what do I have to set?
Y equal to 0.
Excellent. So then I have x squared minus 4 equals 0. Can anyone give us an idea on how to
Then
factor?
it's going to be x minus 4 and then x plus 4.
2. Good. So then we have x equals 2 from here and -2 from here. So we know that it will cross the x-axis, and this is, of course, when x is 0, y is -4, as we just did with the equation, with the linear equation. So here it is. My graphs cannot be perfect, sorry about that. So this is x squared minus 4. Now, since I mentioned those 3 special products, we already reviewed one. So a squared minus b squared, this is the difference of squares, and it factors into a plus b, a minus b. And reverse. So if I have a plus b, a minus b, same terms but different sign, when I multiply them, I get this. So from this, to double the two-way street if you want. From this, from this. The other two, basically it's 1. Can anyone remind us what does this, or the negative? I'm going to use a different color.
It's going to be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared.
Brilliant. Who was that? Julia. Thank you. So a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So please remember, this is a binomial, 2 terms. When two terms by addition or subtraction, right? 2 terms squared will give us 3 terms. Always. And of course, if I have minus here, the only change is here. So please remember this. And now I would like us to look at a compound interest. So any questions on this? Anyone? Anyone?
No.
Okay. So what am I? I'm on page 3. So let's talk about compound interest. One type is n times per year. And the other one is continuous. And this is in chapter 2. Okay, so we're going to have to wait for that one. But n times per year, the formula is I'm going to explain what everything is, represents. So the accumulated value is the principal. I'm going to write this down for you. 1 plus the annual interest rate divided by the number of times the interest is compounded per year, and raised to power n times t. Okay, now let's write what everything represents. Accumulated value. Principal. Time in years. R, annual interest rate. And N, number of times interest, we say compounded or calculated, is compounded per year.
I'm sorry, are you saying N as in Nate or M as in Matt?
Yes, very good question. So this is my M with 3 bubbles, and this is my N with 2 bubbles. Sorry about that. So 3 bubbles is the M, and 2 bubbles is the N. Sorry. Is that what you meant?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So 3 bubbles M and 2 bubbles N. That's why I'm trying to write uppercase all times, just to you can avoid the confusion, the possible confusion or potential confusion. Yes. Good. So I'm going to share my screen for a second. So let's take a look. Sometimes it logs me out. Okay, maybe if I do this, you will wake up. Ah, good. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, stubborn. Okay. As I said, sometimes it does consider me logged out. Maybe not. Okay, I want page 11. Good. And I want us to look at a compound interest. So let's choose a problem with compound interest. Anyone would like to choose, or I will?
30.
30. 30. That's not compound interest.
34.
34. Good. So it says we're depositing, that's the principal, $1,000 at 5%. So R equals 0.05. We cannot use percent, right? It's in decimal. 0.05. How much is the investment? How much is the investment worth? Rounded to the nearest cent, of course, at the end of 4 years. So T equals 4 years. If the interest is compounded, part A, annually, part B, semi-annually, good, quarterly, part C, part D, daily, part E, hourly. Fine. Good. We identify the principal, we identify the annual interest rate, we identify the number of years. So all we have to do now is just write the formula. And I think I'm on page 4. So the accumulated value is principal, 1,000, 1 plus the interest rate, 0.05, divided by annually, semi-annually, quarterly, daily, hourly. So this will change. I'm going to call it n for now, 2 bubbles, n, raised to, and the formula says n times t, 4n, 4n. So t times n. And you can say, what are you doing with this? Well, I'll show you in a moment. So let's identify first of all what is n for A, what is n for B, what is n for part C, for part D, and for part E. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. So anyone I haven't heard from, like Nathan and Levi?
A, N is 1.
Yes, very good.
Is 2.
Good. Nathan, are you with us?
Yeah.
Quarterly?
Is that oh, that's 4, right?
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
4.
Awesome. What about daily? Anyone has an idea for daily?
365.
I completely agree. And of course, for hourly, since we have 365 days, we have to multiply by 24 hours, and we're going to get that in. Awesome.